Hey everyone, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Collins. Welcome back.
We're here today to talk about something that, as you know, as a parent, um, is it better to be mad or disappointed? Disappointment's a little bit harsher in a way, you know? Mad's very reactive.
Anger fades. It burns and fades. Disappointment lingers.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to say it. Yeah, I like that.
Because, season 2 of Picard started out with like 9.5s. Everything was fixed from season 1. All the characters were better. It felt high budget. It felt Trek. It was fantastic. And then into a second episode, which was also very good. It was a great alternate universe. We had lots of Q, lots of canon. And it was a beyond promising start to a season. And they went back in time, and we hoped it would be 4 or 5 episodes, and they would either go back to the future or back to the Federation timeline and say we didn't fix it, we have to go back again and have some twists and turns. And what have we had instead? Now we are in the final 2.
I think my disappointment and letdowns and build-ups that could have went somewhere really good and just didn't. They fizzled out. It's not as bad as all the plot threads that were in season 1 of Picard that went nowhere, because we did a whole video talking about all the ones that had a lot of potential and were just never mentioned again. These ones are kind of covering their bases somewhat, but they're just really dissatisfying so far. And with only 2 episodes left, I have the distinct fear and impression that this is going to be a cliffhanger season going into season 3. And if it ends on a cliffhanger before the next season, I'm going to be very disappointed. So,
well, it's going to be a cliffhanger either way. Just you mean a cliffhanger for the Q? You mean a cliffhanger for the entire story, not just the Q stuff? Because there's an overarching story, but you mean they'll still be in 2024 and they'll still be doing this with stuff we don't care about? Okay, what do you mean there then?
I think they'll get back to They'll get back to the future. They'll stop the destruction of the Stargazer, but there's going to still be something lingering, either with the Q.
Well, it's obviously the Q's still going to have his problem. They're not even try to fix that yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of plot threads that are piling on and on and on. The closer we get to the ending, they're not being rectified, and I'm afraid they're not going to be done in the 2 episodes we have left. I don't want like a best of both worlds season finale where it's like we gotta wait till the next season. That would just be frustrating at this point, because they haven't had a good enough season for us to be like enjoy that wait till the next season, if you know what I mean.
They haven't earned the wait until next time. No, it's odd, because the idea of this season is very strong, but it feels to me like they're mostly going in B stories. And what I mean by that is in an average old Star Trek episode, you have an A story which has most of the budget. You pick your cast members you're going to use for it. You give them the most time. You do a 50-minute episode, 45-minute episode. It's about 25 minutes of the story, give or take. You have a B plot, which is more character-driven, or something fun, silly. And you have a C story, which is more a continuation, a la, Kira still loves Odo and will mention it a couple of times here and there. Like, it's in the story, but it's not it's integrated rather than its own story per se. And these stories, except sort of vaguely, the party one, where there is no B story really, there's just the A story, which therefore makes it all kind of feel flat, because it's just not even the depth of it. They're just doing many stories, continually dragged over episodes, and that works for some things, but they haven't got the single episode stories that are powerful enough to work. And they're doing things like introducing Sung so many episodes in, when they should have introduced him in the Confederation timeline, as a hologram or as a flashback, or they had the chance, if he is the saviour of the future, introduce him in episode 2, or stay in the Confederation timeline for 4 episodes to actually explore it properly. You've already spent the money on the budgets, costumes and sets. It's not like it's that much more expensive to build up that stuff, because do we care about Adam Sung? Not really. And he's now going to be a big part. We assumed he might have been gone. Do we care about the other Picard lady? Not really. They should have had Picard in a holodeck, meeting her in the first episode or something. Show her early on, set up these story arcs to care for her. Maybe it's maybe the speech that she gave in the academy happened to the anniversary of her birth or her death, and so he has a hologram that he plays from the chateau, like there's a family heirloom and it's her, and he can interact with her. Kind of Tasha Yar holograms, you get to see her and feel her character, but no, all these elements just aren't coming together, and 2 more I assumed 3 would be the start where things start rolling. We've had disappointing middle, we'll build momentum. No momentum is built, really. And even the wet squib of a vaguely assimilated Jurati, but doesn't really feel assimilated.
Yeah, I've been pretty positive, even with some of the more lackluster episodes this season. The last one,
We liked, okay.
Yeah, with the called Monsters, where they explored his.
It had Starfleet stuff. It had
Yes.
like 10 minutes of dedicated good Star Trek content being in the office.
And it felt like they were getting rid of some of the stuff, solving some stuff, so that this next episode would be like, okay, here we go, now into the big thing. And it just, again, so now I'm just at that point where I'm just kind of losing faith, unfortunately.
None of the stories are interesting enough. That's a problem.
Well, it's like I said in our edited review, it feels like it's suffering from the same problems that Discovery Season 4 did. Just one plot that's stretched so razor thin and just dragged over 10 episodes, when please don't do that. I don't know. So much potential at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, squandered potential for sure. And it's obviously pandemic based, where, you know, having to deal with masks and people in bubbles. Remember, this was filmed early in the pandemic, so the fact they could do it was, well, middle of the pandemic, I should say, early for filming things. So obviously it took longer to film. They put more, you know, you had to spend a certain amount of money on the budget just to allow them to film, so they couldn't spend much on screen. But so many repeated sets that are not very interesting, really. A lack of showing the present in any meaningful way, so you don't feel your present day plot. I get that. I get the lack of whatevers, but this was not a good story to go full force on. Yeah, pandemic is a problem, but it's radically damaged this season, and not because it's bad. It's just so unmemorable.
Yeah. And something else is just the disappointment of the Duquesne character not being Duquesne. Like they're walking that fine wire that, yes, this could be a temporal agent, and you know, just the Confederation timeline or something. But no, they overlooked one of the most obvious things they could have done, and in my opinion, it was a waste of that actor. They could have had any other actor play that role.
Yeah.
Not that he's fantastic as an agent, but he played such a memorable role in Relativity. Please just use that character again. And that's one of the things that I think is a slap in the face. It's a little bit of a slap in the face that they didn't even, I don't even know if it was mentioned. I mean, it must have been, because they named him Agent Wells as like a nod to it.
And not just that, but if you're going to then not do that and go with this interesting Vulcan subplot, do shoot more than just the flashbacks in the trailer. Zero depth. Zero. I don't think we're going to see him again, because his story's done. So like, there's nothing there. It's vapid. It's empty. You could have had. I assume the Vulcans or Romulans would have been a good twist, and these are Romulans from the Confederation timeline that went back and changed time too, or some such. Like I thought that would be the twist. That no, it's nothing to do with Rene Picard. It was actually these Romulans that went back and changed, like to create more depth to it. Like give us something, and it just falls flat. It's just.
Now you said that, I just had a thought, which is hopeful, I guess. Maybe it is Duquesne and either a Vulcan or a Romulan from the Confederation timeline mind melded him and changed his memory of his childhood to make him think he wasn't a time cop. I'm hoping for the best here, guys. We come up with some really good ideas, and
no, I think at this point they've lost any not good faith. What's the thing where you oh yeah, no. No, I think at this point, honestly, they've lost the benefit of the doubt for me. We gave them 5 not so good episodes, or 4 really, and the last one's better, and we assumed we were going to start to build in. But this one, knowing the pacing of a show, you can't do everything in 2, so they've lost the benefit of the doubt. They're not going to be good. They're not going to be. The next one's not going to be good. The last one might be good because it links season 3, but they can't. If they can suddenly up the quality that drastically, why don't they do it this week? Why didn't they do it last week? You don't go from this, because they've been slow decreasing in quality you don't just suddenly ramp up again. So it's we're just disappointed. You know, they should not have started so strong. It was all the worst expectations. And the trailers also, remember, they had Confederation timeline looking cool, Stargazer stuff looked cool, Borg stuff looked cool, but they left all of that in the first 2 hours. All of it gone. It was a very poorly promoted thing. They put all their money into the first they put all their, get the fans back on board for 2 and hope they'll stay. Very strange, Stuart. Just disappointing. But it does not make me less excited for season 3, because Terry's back in charge, and he wrote the first 2, which are really, really, really good, and are still really, really good.
And he went to work on season 3, and as a result, Akiva Goldsman took over the rest of season 2, which I think you can see the.
And also, you've got to wonder, Doug and such, those team, they were so excited about Picard, right? But the Stargazer only appeared in the first episode. Was the set really just sitting in LA for 6 months gathering dust? I mean, surely they must have been filming some season 3 stuff on that set during the same time, or they film. Because why would you? Doug did not given a thing to the rest of the season. There's nothing else in the season to generate them being excited, as like Johnny didn't do it. It's weird, I know they say wait for season 3, but you can see why. Season 3 is a lost cause. It's wait for season 3. That's when stuff really goes.
I think his excitement that he's been displaying on social media was because they had the original cast back. They did all season 3 filming. He knows what's coming. There's good stuff coming with the original cast. That's what he was ramped up about. It just didn't translate into season 2. That's all. I don't know.
I just don't know why they didn't have a Confederation ship jump back with them and be chasing them. Could have been so fun. It literally should have. I said this before. It should have been the Confederation Stargazer. Use those sets, light them red, have the officers, and have them who aren't used. They just followed them because they followed them. They didn't time travel. They didn't know how to. They just followed them, but they followed them back, say 2 days later because of time working out, and then they were able to then have military and following them, and then all this. That would have been great, And they're using future tech, and there's this cat and mouse game, and there's a Borg Queen. That's just some of our thoughts, because it's just an odd experience to watch this season.
Anyway, disappointment. That's the word. So, what about you guys? Comment down below your thoughts on this season, and we want to read them. So, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell icon so you can join us for our lives, where we talk about the stuff in real time. So you guys can put in your 2 cents, literally and figuratively, during those lives, and we will read them and talk to you and generate good conversation. So join us for those.
Yeah, and if you want to support us directly, we appreciate it, because we do rely on those personal donations to help us keep going. All this content, when there's stuff to talk about, Stuart, as we did for episodes 1 and 2, we throw stuff out. When there's not, okay. But when there is, we do. And Stranger Worlds is coming. We'll do a lot of stuff for that, I'm sure. Patreon, PayPal, join the channel on YouTube, or super chatting in the lives. All really, really great ways. All thank you in advance. And we'll see you next time, and you'll see us. Or you'll see us, and we'll see you if you're on live.
That's right. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Combs.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Prosper.